In my research, I explore the interactions between the languages we speak and how we understand, pay attention to, and remember particular aspects of time in various real-life events. And this research area falls under the linguistic relativity approach, and more precisely, it's about the impact of language on temporal cognition. And what fascinates me most is the question that if languages influence the way we think, do our fundamental concepts change or stay the same when we learn a new linguistic system? And I investigate this question first on a typological level. So I look at the differences across various languages, including Chinese, German, Hungarian, Slovak, and English, to understand how speakers form perceptual symbols, which are about the strengths of the associations between sensory input and compatible linguistic information. I compare data from native speakers and bilinguals, as well as language learners with different levels of proficiency, to see which patterns tend to be more universal, which are more language specific, and perhaps most interestingly, which are the hybrid patterns that are the learner specific ones. And in my approach, I adopt a multidisciplinary way of looking at the data. So I combine quantitative and qualitative linguistic analysis with similarity judgments, memory tests, and eye tracking data to see which aspects of temporal information we focus on most and which we focus on less. In one of the projects, I also look at brain responses to test the sensitivity to various mismatches in a sentence. So, for example, in a sentence like "the cat was suddenly licking an ice cream," we have an ongoing time flow disrupted by a positional time adverb. My most recent project with 160 Chinese-English bilinguals, I look at the question whether a second language is able to reprogram our temporal cognition. So this project is aspect-focused, focuses on grammatical aspect. It is present but different in both languages, and research shows that whilst in English it's perfectly fine to combine ongoingness with typically short two-state events like the eagle is snatching a fish out of water, or the train is arriving at platform 4, or baby is falling asleep. These combinations are not available in Chinese, which leads researchers to conclude that Chinese might be perhaps more result-focused, whilst English is more action-oriented. So this project examines whether learners shift their temporal focus to a more action-oriented English pattern, and whether this happens with varying degrees of explicitness in the instructions they receive. So these are my topics, and I'm always keen to exchange ideas about them, and I welcome expressions of interest for future PhD projects and potential collaborations.